Hey gang, what's going on? Hayden Crabtree. We're back with another awesome whiteboard video. Today's video is how I made $1.1 million in 2 years in real estate and how you can do the exact same thing. So the purpose of this video isn't to talk about how I had so much money and I put in real estate and I made more money. The purpose of this video is actually to talk about how I didn't have much money and how I can multiply that money to make a really big impact and how you can do the exact same thing. So we're gonna be talking about the power of commercial real estate, the power of leverage, and the power of creative deals in this video. So I hope you're excited. Before we dive in, you need to stop, you need to get a notepad because I'm gonna be giving you real numbers. We're going through real examples. I'm gonna show you guys exactly how this was done. So grab that notepad, and oh, by the way, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button because we're gonna be dropping more content just like this every single week and I don't want you to miss any of it. So do me a favor, for all the value I'm about to throw at you, hit that subscribe button and let's dive into it. Okay, so we'll take you back to this story. About 4 years ago, I was hunting for some off-market deals, what I think is super critical to hunt for these off-market deals, and I got a lead that came in. The lead that came in was a very nice lady who owned a property. She actually inherited the property through a divorce. She had no idea what she was doing. She just wanted a stable income and she wanted to get this headache of a property off of her books. She didn't want to worry about it anymore. So after doing some due diligence on her, figuring out what were her problems, what problems do I need to solve, and doing some due diligence on the property, what is the state of the property, I made her an offer on the property. I said, listen ma'am, I'll give you $500,000 for this property, which I think is a fair offer. But what I'm gonna do, because the property needs a little bit of work, I gotta get it up some, I'm gonna give you $30,000 down and you're gonna hold the rest in owner financing debt. Okay, so let's write these numbers down. We're gonna give you $500,000 with $30K down, and you're gonna hold $470,000 in debt. Okay, so the great thing about owner finance is that we don't have to go to a bank. We don't have to get approved for loans. We just propose how much we want to pay on this debt. So I gave her a fair rate. I said, I'll give you $470,000 and 5% 20-year AM, and whatever those payments came out to, I said, that's a more than fair offer. Let's do this thing. She said yes. Why did she say yes? Because I offer to solve her problems. And that is a super critical key. Offer to solve people's problems. The first thing you gotta do is figure out what is their problem. So again, her problems are she inherited this property through a divorce. She didn't know what she was doing. She just wanted a stable income. Guess what? She didn't want money now. She didn't need money now. She wanted a stable income for her future. So the $470,000, that was going to provide a monthly income stream to her as that debt got paid off, and that checked all of her boxes. So that's great. That's exactly what we were wanting. So whenever I got into this market, by the way, this is a storage property. Here's a picture of it before, and here's a picture of it after. So you can see we did some upgrades on the property. I had to put $40,000 of upgrades into this property. So there's another $40,000. I had to give her $30,000 down and $40,000 of improvements. So for a total of $70,000 down, okay? $70,000 down is how much? 30 to her, 40 into improvements. Now I didn't have $70,000. I didn't have any money at the time. What did I do? I figured out how to solve problems and I raised the money to do this deal through investors, okay? So we're gonna get to that part. So I was hunting for this deal and I knew one thing to be true. This was a commercial property, storage complex, just like I like. And so I knew that whenever I have a storage building, let's see my artwork. When I have a storage building, I have a standard set of expenses. One of the biggest expenses in that storage building is an employee, someone to run that place, right? This is expensive. People are expensive. That's a lesson to be learned. People are expensive. So I had to say, how can I reduce this cost and how can I boost the NOI? Because if we remember on commercial real estate, how it's valued, we have income minus expenses gives us our NOI. If you've never heard any of this before, go pick up a copy of this book. It's a bestseller. I give it away for free. Link in description. You'll learn all about this process and how to make a killing in commercial real estate like we're about to talk about. So NOI right here. And so this NOI is how the property is valued. So I wanted to get the value of the property up. I needed to get the value of the property up. So what did I do? I said, how can I increase? Well, one of the ways that I was actively working on was increasing the income, but another great way is to decrease the expenses. So what did I do? I went and I looked for another property nearby. I was contacting all local property owners and asking if anybody wanted to sell. Does anybody know anybody that wants to sell? And lucky enough, after a couple months of hunting and talking to a lot of people, I found another property just down the road that wanted to sell. And so this property over here, let's go through these numbers. This property over here, the owner wasn't highly motivated. He lived out of state. He bought this as an investment. He hired a management company. They weren't doing a great job for him. And so he was motivated just to get out of it. He owned some other businesses, but he wasn't strapped for cash. So I offered him the same owner finance offer. He told me, no, I'm not going to do that. So here's what I did instead. This, we agreed to a straight up cash price of $550K, $550,000 down. And I didn't want to put a lot of money into this. 20% down on $550 would be $110,000. That sounded like a lot of money because I knew I needed to put a little bit more money back into the property. And so $550,000, what I did is I went to my good friend, the bank, and I actually asked the bank, I said, hey, this needs a little bit of work. What can you guys do for me? Is there any low money down products that you guys have going on? And I learned about, in this deal, SBA loans. SBA loans are amazing. They're small business administration loans. Everybody's heard about the SBA recently because of PPP, EIDL, things of that nature. But the SBA has been around. The SBA is not a new thing. And the SBA was giving out loans to people to buy property, to buy businesses, to start businesses, to grow their businesses. The SBA has been around. I got an SBA loan on this property. And the great thing about SBA loans is that they are 90% LTV. So on this property, 90% LTV means I only had to put $55K down. Does that make sense? $55K is 10% of $550,000. So I only put $55K down on this property. So the $55K means I borrowed the rest of the money. I borrowed, $495,000. $495K. So I put $55K down, and we put some more money into this property. I want to say it was about $30,000 that we put in this property in terms of improvements. So 55 and 30, that is 85K. 85K. That's how much we put in this property. So this property right here, again, storage units 2. Well, guess what? These two were about 10 minutes from each other. Physically, they're not very far. So instead of having one person here and one person here, guess what? This person wanted to retire. She didn't really like us. She was good friends with the old owner, was doing her a favor. This person quit, and we kept this person. But instead of having this person here and this person here, what did we do? We brought these two together, and we had one person do the work on both. It was plenty, right? Listen, storage managers sit in their office and they watch Netflix a lot of times. This person had plenty of time to manage both of the properties. And guess what? We didn't pay him anymore because do your job, and that's fine. That's how things should work. You have spare time, we're paying you, fill this other property up. We're going to automate a bunch of stuff anyways. We're actually going to make your life easier because these people had no systems, these people had no systems. We're going to put systems in. You're not going to have to worry about half the problems you do now thanks to technology. And we kept one person and we saved money. So what happened? We combined these two. We combined the income from here, and we combined the income from here into one. We combine the expenses from here, the expenses from here. We got expenses from here, and then we got one collective NOI. Now, here's what also happens is that smaller properties don't interest big buyers. Okay, smaller properties don't interest big buyers as much, so you're dealing with smaller people who will want to buy your property, and smaller people don't have as much money and are always looking for higher returns. It just makes sense. Well, guess what? Whenever we combine both of these properties, we actually took two small properties and essentially created one big property in the eyes of other investors. And what did that get us? That got us a lower cap rate. So beforehand, these properties were valued on, let's say, an 8 cap over here, and they were valued on an 8 cap over here. Well, when we combine these two properties, we got one bigger one, and we moved down to about a 6.5 cap, which is instant equity. Instant equity, higher cap rates, more valuable. So we turned the value in both of these properties way, way up. So we had $85,000 down over here. We had $70,000 down over here. Okay, all this was investor raised money. All of the investors, we did the full pitch deck. We showed them exactly what we were going to do. We did it successfully. So simple math, I did 70,000 here plus 85,000 here. We had about $155,000 into the deal of investor money and a lot of other bank money. And guess what? Just sold that property for $2.3 million. So let's go through that math real quick. $2.3 million is what we sold it for. $2.3 million. So we had to pay off the lady from over here, right? If we remember, we owed her $470,000. Time had gone through, we owed her about $450,000. Okay, if you remember from the bank over here, we bought $495. By the time we paid it off, it was down to about, I think it was about $475. Okay, so $2.3 million minus the debt that we owed. Let's do the quick math. Simple math, right? Real estate is only addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. It's very, very easy. 2.3 minus 450,000 minus the 475,000 gives us $1.375 million was the amount that we walked away on this. Give the investors back their money of $155,000. And we got a profit of $1.22 million. Well, there were some other fees in here, but there were some legal fees, there's some transaction fees. Walked away with just under $1.2 million. And so here's the thing, is that I got a great chunk of that. I also gave my investors some chunks of that. But here's the key, is that it all came from finding these deals, putting these deals together, and putting the work in to understand how all of these are going to work together. Nothing that I've said here, you can't go do. You have the ability to go out and find off-market deals, combine off-market deals, find people's problems, solve people's problems. And this is how, in under 2 years, just about 2 years, you can make over $1 million in real estate. For you and your investors, doesn't matter. That's over $1 million in profit, and you can keep at least half of that for yourself, right? So earn your investors a great return. That is over 155 to 1.2 million. That's a 7-8x return in 2 years. You're not going to get that anywhere else, and that's the power of real estate. So if you learned something in this video, smash that subscribe button. Please, if you didn't learn anything, if you have questions about how any of this works, just drop me a comment. I'm happy to answer. I'll respond to these. In the meantime, if you're like, how the heck is this even possible? Grab it. Skip the flip. Secrets the 1% know about real estate investing. This is how the 1%'s created videos like this right here. By the way, got some tax benefits along the way. Got some cash flow along the way. This is what you guys need to be into. This is the game you need to be playing in. So do me a favor again. Smash that like button so other people can see this. Share this with somebody who you want to partner up on. Share this with somebody who you want to invest in your deals so they can see that this is possible. And I'll see you guys in some other videos. Check out the rest of my channel. See you in the next one. Have a great day.